and give people an opportunity to come in if you're watching the replay. And as always, I'm sending a couple of links out to a few people. A couple of links out to a few people. I'm sending a few links out to a few different people. So give me just a second if you're on that replay. Usually people don't jump in right away, so usually have a little bit of time to do that. But it could probably look pretty ridiculous on the replay. Okay, I did that. And somebody's in here. Hovita. It's 2 people. Okay. Waiting on some more people to come in. Hovita, how are you? How's the weather in Texas? Did y'all get a bunch of storms the other day? I think just about all of us did. Teresa Painter, hello. Trying to get everything situated here. Hi from Indiana. Hello. I still think it is so cool how we can sit here and talk and be all over the US and all over the world. And a lot of people, not much younger than me, aren't as fascinated with it as maybe someone my age or older is. Because I think I was a teenager when the internet came out, and it was like, I think it was Prodigy. I think we used Prodigy, and then AOL came out. So most of my life, but I certainly remember when it cost a whole lot of money to call someone on a phone that was attached to the wall that wasn't in your state, or sometimes in your just in your same zip code. Ellen, Chris Smith, hello from Wiley, Texas. Ovita wants to know where Wiley, Texas is. She thought she knew all of Texas. And she's gotten so much rain there in South Texas. So everybody remember to hit that thumbs up for me. They tell me it helps with the analytics. And I'll just go with it. Let's hope that it does. How are those baby goats doing? I'm about to talk about those baby goats here in a minute. Pixie Ranger. Well, Pixie Ranger's in here. We can start now. Actually, I haven't seen Mom. I don't know. She was one I sent a text to, so a link to. So I'm waiting to see if maybe Mom comes in. Of course, anything I say, Mom's gonna know anyway, so I don't guess she'll miss out. But she does forget what happens, and then when she sees it on a video, then she's surprised again. That's kind of funny. Or when I tell her something. It has been a crazy, crazy week. Last weekend, I'm a little distracted by the chat, but don't let that bother you. You keep chatting, because that's also something they tell me helps with the YouTube stuff. Last weekend, today's Monday, not just this past weekend that just passed, but last Saturday, Sunday, I had 5 does. I had 4.5 does. I have that one that's almost grown. She's not quite there, but she's not a baby. Teresa said she's watching Judge Judy. Actually, we did watch Judge Judy today for a couple of hours. I don't know that it was even a couple hours, maybe an hour and a half. She better not be watching Judge Judy without me. But anyway, last weekend I had the 4.5 does, and then Tuesday is when they started giving birth. I think Dawn had 4 of them. And then Thursday morning, Sky had 3. Thursday night, morning-ish, 11:30 to 12:30, Pebbles had 4. And then the other doe with no name, the white one with the La Mancha ears, she had 2. So I had 13 kids this weekend, 13 goat kids this weekend. Last weekend, none. This weekend, 13. Today, I sold 4. So I'm down to 9 here at the property, but um, there are other 2 more that are already sold, but that person is not going to pick them up. Those are the 2 does. She's not going to pick them up until they're weaned. So it'll be July the 6th when she picks those up. So I've actually sold 6 goats and haven't even had them a week. Tuesday will be a week for this first set of does. I mean, first set of goats that were born. So there's Mom. She's not watching Judge Judy. Teresa. I think it was Teresa. Yeah, Mom. Teresa accused you of watching Judge Judy without me. So I advertise them, and I am in disbelief or unbelief, whatever it is, about how many responses that I'm getting on these goats. The last couple of years, they have not been selling well at all. Um, you've got there's been a lot of people starting to get into the small goats and breeding the goats, and so we've probably got too many, and then there's the economy that's also a problem. And so the last couple of years it has been very hard to sell goats, and so when I had 3 girls, so I had 10 boys. I was kind of really getting concerned this year, so that's why I started advertising them so soon. But there's actually, I was thinking that is what, when I first got into goats, one of the things that I didn't think about when I was breeding them and selling them, one of the things that I didn't take into consideration that first year is to start as soon as they hit the ground, as soon as you see what you have, how many male or female, what color they are, um, start thinking about what you're going to sell them for and advertising. And it's that way, not just with goats. I mean, it's with birds, it's with hogs, it's with cattle, it's with whatever you have. And that's something that I didn't take into consideration when I first started doing this. Um, like I didn't before I moved out on property. I didn't have anything that I can't think of anything that I bred and sold. But so um, when when I saw what these were, I started advertising, of course, this weekend and starting to get them sold. So, and I haven't ever done it this soon, not this aggressively. I'll put 1 or 2 out there and see what kind of bites I get. But this time I started putting, a lot of them out, and it just. But I still didn't think that I would get this big of a response. It got so much that, and not everybody buys. They ask questions, they determine that they're too far, or they think when they're, even if you have your general location or an area where you're going to meet at, they will start talking to you and then try to talk you into transport or meeting them halfway. um, those goats don't sell enough for me to go very far at all, especially the boys. So not everybody uh, purchases them, but so I had a lot of people, uh, how do I, asking questions about them, inquiring of them, and I had to stop. I had to just work with a few of them and come back to the other ones. Now, as the other ones have sat there a little bit longer, the chances of them buying has gone down a little bit, because if somebody's out there buying, a lot of times they're searching, 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 so they find the right one. And if you don't respond pretty quickly, they'll move on. And then there are some that plan it out and know what they're doing, and then there's some that are just scrolling and they see a cute goat and they impulse buy. So I do expect, with as many as there are that I had to set aside and come back to, I do expect to hear back from at least some of them. So let's see what is going on in the chat and see what the conversation is going to be like today. every other day it seems to be raining here, and always seems to be on a on a Saturday, right? So all outdoor events get canceled. Yes, it's the weekend, and for me though, I mean, I have a 4 day weekend. I only go into work 3 days a week, um, and I would rather most of the time that it would rain on my days off rather than when I'm not, because if it rains when I have to go into work, then it just makes it so much more harder for me to get things done before I'm going to work or when I get home from work. So it's like run in the rain and take care of the animals, and not completely. Like you don't do everything. You don't do everything that you normally would do each day if it's raining, especially if it's lightning or there's a tornado warning. So I'd rather do it on my day off. But I guess if you don't have a farm or something like that, a lot of animals to take care of, or you're not the only one doing it, then maybe you might want to you might want a Saturday to go do stuff. But I still need to mow. Like it has to not rain so that I can mow and do things like that. Jovita's putting people in timeout and hiding them and everything else. Pixie Ranger says, Jovita, you got a job to do now. Kelly Clayton says, hello, beautiful people. Hattie Hamlin, are there certain breeds that are popular at the moment? Not milk, meat. Meat breeds, yes. So the ones I have are considered dairy, but they're small. So like the dwarfs, the smaller goats, the pygmies are meat, even though they're small, and Nigerian dwarf are milk. So there's more meat in the pygmy and more milk production in the Nigerian, even though they are small goats. Um, but because they're small and cute, people purchase them to as a hobby, and so the bigger goats. So like if you go to auction, if you load up goats and go to auction, the bigger goats are definitely going to go for more money because they're heavier. They'll sell for meat. When you go to an auction and buy, like people buying Nigerian dwarfs and pygmies, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are going for meat, because a lot of people use them as pets. But um, that's why they'll sell a lot less at an auction, because they're selling them by the pound. Which goes faster, the boys or the girl goats? Girls, 100%. So, and that's like with the girls, when you buy a girl, it doesn't even matter what you're using it for. If someone is going to buy a goat for meat, they're generally gonna purchase the biggest goat or look for the meatier goat, and that's gonna be a boy. But when they're buying for the future, like for babies, uh, they buy the girls, because the girls are the ones that have the babies, and that can be, you know, the bigger goes, anything more than, I don't even know if it happens. I'm sure it does occasionally, but anything more than a twin is not happening. I've not seen it. I'm sure it does somewhere out there, but I haven't seen it. But with the bucks, you only need one buck for a whole, herd of girls. So people need, when they're into the goats, and even if they're breeding them, they need more girls than the boys. But the boys selling for meat, you get more out of them. And so usually people will have have babies. They'll have the girls, the does, and they'll have babies, and they'll retain the girls from that season, and then they'll take the bucks to auction or try to sell them on Craigslist or wherever for for profit. but they knowing that they're probably going for meat. And people buy goats and say it's just for brush cleaning. Okay, whatever. When you're done that season, when they're done cleaning the brush, a lot of times they just got to auction. Uh, so and with cows, if you're out, if you're gonna go, if you're buying cows, the same thing. The girls are gonna be the ones that produce that increase the herd, and the boys go to meat. And if the girls cannot breed for whatever reason, or they've got a bad temper, or there's something wrong, they usually sell at the auction for meat. And it is sad, but that's the way that is the way it goes, and that's the way it's been for a long time. Which of the goats that you sold went faster? Well, I just read that, or I think I did. I mean, I just answered that. Oh, so you put it twice. Yeah, I must have been ignoring you. Jeremy says hi. Is he doing good? Lorie Carp, good evening. Just reading everybody's hellos. Howdy, Lorie and Greg. How's things going? Greg's not here. Things are going. I did see him today. We did go out and eat, but he's not here. Are there colors that are popular? In the little goats, yes. The more color, the more popular. I can sell uh, moon spotted goats for more than just solid colored goats most of the time. Mom says the Jeremy. Yep, she's the one that got Jeremy. She's the fool that took him. And then, not that I sell them for more, but the naturally polled goats, um, people want those. People that, if they're wanting them for pets, a lot of times they want the polled goats. Because they're just running around like dogs and they don't want them to have horns. Pixie Ranger said, "Oh, that Jeremy." Ovidia said, "All I know about goats, I learned from Lorie." I will never forget the video about the smelly buck. All these channels, and you're learning from me on goats. That's funny. Yeah, there's a lot. You talk about that buck. There's a lot that I didn't, that you don't know, that a lot of people don't talk about it because, I mean, why would they? But um, girls are also easier to sell if they're for pets. So, like we talked about the meat, the boys sell for more for meat because they're bigger, and the different reasons why they might want a girl versus a boy. Depends on if they're putting it in the freezer or if they're trying to build a herd or whatever. But when it comes to the smaller goats and they're just hobby goats, um, the bucks they're pretty nasty. They stink, and the little goats, the big goats breed in seasons. Like they have a season. They go into rut and have a season. The little goats can breed all year long. They cycle every month, and so every time the girls go in the heat, the boys, nasty as they were before, it gets a lot worse. They pee in their mouth and they pee all over their face and their beard because apparently that's what the girls like. I don't know, but yeah, they're pretty nasty. So if you're getting a boy goat for just a pet, uh, banned him when he's young. Uh, Craig, need another rooster buddy. Are you asking me if I need another rooster? No, I don't. Did Jeremy settle down? Oh, yeah, she's asking Pierogi if Jeremy ever settled down. She probably doesn't go in the pen with him. Oh, you thought Puroki was Greg. No, Puroki is JB, and she is the one that took my rooster Jeremy. Didn't take, I mean, I gave her my rooster Jeremy. She said, I'll take it. And I said, you can have him. I'll even bring him to you. No, Greg is not here, and he's not in the chat. Yeah, Lorie and also raising pigs. Yeah, pigs are they're nasty. Pigs are nasty. They're fun. They're like fun to watch in somebody else's yard. Actually, going out in the mornings when it was warmer, going out in the mornings, and if I wasn't like on my days off, it wasn't so much fun when I had to go to work because it was just an extra thing that I had to do before I went to work. But they were fun to watch. They're interesting creatures, but in the hot of the summer, the wet spring, and then the driest part of the summer, it had two different, like the wet part, they stunk really bad, and it wasn't that close to my house, but I could smell it when I went out the door. Um, but then in the hottest part of the summer, the hard part was keeping their water full, and so they would when I finally got that barrel with the nozzles in it and had it strapped to the fence and everything, they would always find a way to dig around it and cause it to fall over. And I'm always having to do something with it. Plus, you got to clean out the barrel every now and then, apparently. Between you and the Eddies, I know about I know about goats. The Eddies, man, they went from 0 goats to like 100. I don't even know. I don't think they know how many they have. I don't think they do. They got a lot of goats, and they learned the hard way, and they learned fast on how to handle them, didn't they? Just like I did. The first goat I got, I didn't even have a fence up. I had one of those. If you go back to before I moved out here, I had a building out back that's bigger than the one that Greg was going to move into, the tiny house thing. But I put him in there. It was a bad idea, and he was not happy being alone. That um, I didn't know that goats couldn't really. They don't do well when they're alone. I didn't know. So I went out and got a female goat, and then I found out that one male needs more than one female, or he won't leave her alone. Um, so I don't know. It took a minute to realize, separate the boys, breed them when you're ready to breed them. Do the math. When do you want them to hit the ground, and get you a few goats for a boy. I don't need two males. Like I have too many males. I like Rocky's coloring. He produces great colors. But then I wanted a pole buck, so I got Flint. I'm thinking about getting rid of Flint, because he's throwing mostly boys. Like two seasons I've used him to breed, and it's mostly boys. What is my favorite animal that I've ever raised? Ever? You mean like, um, what are we talking? Are we talking about, I guess, farm animal, right? Like, mm, the most addictive, I guess, would be the birds, like the chickens. I don't know, because it's easy. They're cheap. If you flub up, it didn't cost you very much. And they're kind of easier to sell too, and they don't take up a lot of space. But I think my favorite right now is the cows. Like, I've wanted cows for a long time, and I think I like the cows because um, there's just not a whole lot to them. They're out in the field eating hay. In the wintertime, I have to go out and get their hay. I have to bring hay out to them once a week. That sucks. If something goes wrong with a cow, it's kind of a big deal because they're a big animal. And that's like that thing with Jake when he got his head stuck between two trees, which I don't know how that happened. But I don't know how he got his head in there. What was he doing to get his head stuck in between those two trees? But it was a big deal. It's something that I couldn't take care of myself. I was calling Dad and my brother and Amy, and they brought Chris and the boys out there and with chainsaws and all that. So, but I do like the cows. Um, yeah, I think it would be the cows. I do want to do sheep. I want to do hair sheep eventually. I want to at least try it because that's something else that I wanted to do. There's potentially more income. The birds are, I don't know, fighting over there. The chicks. There's potentially more income for sheep than there is for Dexter cows out here where I am on 20 acres. You can put more sheep on smaller amounts of land, but it's going to be more work. So I need fencing and I need to make up my mind. I need to figure out how, because really, ideally, the best way I think for sheep. Now, people do it with cows too, and if they've got time and if they got the land and they've got the whatever it takes, it probably works really well with cattle. But I think the best thing for sheep is the rotational grazing because goats and sheep are they can when they get down, especially I would think sheep. Although I've never had them, I've read and watched videos on them, and talk to people about them. They can get down like all of a sudden because they're a prey animal. They try not to show any weakness, and so when they do get sick, it's all of a sudden, and they're usually pretty bad by the time you notice it. And that was when I took Sky. Remember when I took Sky to the vet here a few weeks back, and I was concerned about her because she had diarrhea and she didn't come up to eat, and she was fine. Well, I don't think I saw her the day before because I think Curtis fed her the day before, and I didn't go out there and look. But before that, she was fine. She was nothing wrong with her. And then all of a sudden, I come out one morning, she has diarrhea, and she didn't eat. She didn't come up to eat breakfast, and so I knew she was pretty sick. Um, but I think sheep are more that way than goats because goats can get friendly pretty quickly. Like there's more curious than sheep, and they do have sheep can't climb and they can't really fight. they just they don't have a lot of they don't seem to have a lot of brains. So I would imagine it would be worse with sheep than goats. So have any goats that play dead? Nope, I don't. Um, So thankful humans aren't like that. So I sit there and talked a while. So I'm assuming you're talking about the boys. We wouldn't have a human population if humans were like that. So apparently the girl goats like the smell. So anyway, I forgot what I was having goats that played in. No, I don't have the fainting goats. I feel like that would be a little bit of a pain, like trying to move them around or try to do something with them and they just fall over. I don't know. I just, it would get old really fast to me. Like, you know, people like them. People like to scare them. I don't know. To me, doing something with them that would get old. You love the rooster chasing me. Well, the rooster is gone. Pure Okie has it, and that will be her problem. Jeremy, she says, Pure Okie says, Jeremy is a bit down this weekend. He is worried you will forget about him and ask if he could come home. No, no, he can't. You're stuck with him. Makes for good entertainment when roosters chase you. Yeah. Have you guys noticed that the turkey isn't bothering me as much as it used to? He's not like trying to sneak up behind me or anything. That's the turkey hen has started laying eggs, and I'm collecting eggs. I'm gonna try. I don't know if this incubator will hold them though. I'll have to read the things to see if the little egg turners will hold them. I think this is just for chickens though. I'm gonna try to hatch them, I think, and I've also considered, and I was before I went live, was sitting here looking at hatcheries to see if I could order them. I don't know if you like mine is laying right now, but I do know that mine lays late. Like everybody else's turkey was laying last month, and so I don't know if I could still order some turkeys. I'm wanting some more royal palms, but I don't want to raise them. I don't want to raise the chicks. Turkeys are they're kind of dumb. Like they get themselves into so much trouble when they're chicks. They're hard to raise the chicks. I didn't have any problems when I bought the batch of turkeys that I did. Mine came from a hatchery, and I don't remember losing any of them. But I had when I lived at the other house, we had a few turkeys, and one climbed into a water bucket and drowned. I mean, it was they're just like not really bright. Uh, but that blizzard's not bothering me as bad now. There's someone says hello, but oh, it's Yusuf. Yusuf. Yusuf? Yes, Yusuf is back. Glad to see you back. Forgot where you said you were from, though. Let me think. Hmm. Forgot where you said you were from. I almost put somebody in timeout. Lori Carp, I almost put you in timeout. Uh, you should be the you should be the rooster whisperer. I sure hope you're talking to Puroki or somebody, not me. Goats and chickens are similar, need more females. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's that way with cows and with pigs. Do you have like if you have like a herd of pigs, are they a herd? Are they a herd? Is that a herd? Anyway, if you have a group of pigs, do they have usually raising out like is it one male per female or is it one male per like bunch of females? I don't know that. Have a good broadcasting. Thank you. Thank you. Assuming he was after the tender grass. Who? You gotta see this. I can't see because it's they're a member. Kim. She says, "Hi, Lorie and all." So she's a member, and her name is in green. The rest of you are like in I don't know, gray, off white, or something. And so the members are green. It's supposed to stand out. Well, it does. I noticed it right away because it's colored right there in the midst of all the white, but I couldn't read it without my glasses. The Ellen Moon, the baby tiny goat, the little one that I was bringing in, that is one that sold today. Cows are good. Need beef. Lorie, 20 acres is a lot to take care of. Uh, you're telling me? You're telling me it's a lot? I know it's a lot. That's why it doesn't get taken care of. That's why there's so many things not getting done. That's why the door's shut over there and y'all right here. You can't see past, right here because stuff doesn't get done. Got a lot here. The turkey saw what you saw what you did to Jeremy. He's probably thinks you ate him. No, I told everybody I took him to JB and told him what kind of person she was. That probably scared him. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Blizzard saw what happened. So everybody's saying Blizzard saw what happened to Jeremy. You're following me on. I'm not on TikTok. Are you talking to me? You may not even be talking to me, but I'm not on TikTok. Did you get my message? Did I get your message where? Got somebody come up behind me. I'm the only one here. Where did you send a message, Kelly? I think a group of pigs is called a sounder. I have never heard of that. But that don't mean that that is not right for sure, because I've never. In America, in America, you're right. It's called a drove, drift, or sounder. Other terms include herd, team, or passion. Specifically, a sounder often refers to wild pigs, while drove and drift are used for young pigs or domesticated ones being moved. A group of piglets is called a litter. Huh. It snowed in Rhode Island today. That's when I would move. King what? King, is that chaos? With a K? I gotta clean my glasses. I can help. Kim says, been member for a while now. My favorite place to be. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. And Pure Oakie's a member as well. I've been trying to put out a little bit more content for you guys, especially since that one person said they had to leave me because I put out too much content for the members. It's like I don't ever put out content for the members, but I've been trying here lately. Pierogi says, Lorie, you just have to read more scriptures on Sunday. I go out and make Jeremy listen to me for at least an hour every Sunday for truth. True. Um, I mean, I read it, but I don't take it outside and read it to the animals. I read it in the comfort of the recliner. Insta. I'm on Instagram, yes. Is that where you sent the message? Oh, I'm looking for my phone so I can look at my messages. You guys are using my phone, so I can't look at it right now. I didn't know we can receive private messages on here. So actually, did you send me a message? Okay, so they were actually talking about being able to do that. I think it's something I have to sign up for or agree to or something like that. They were talking about I don't know where it would be. I don't see that option on here. But they were talking about making it to where you can send uh, channels, content creators messages on YouTube. Are you, huh? I haven't seen that though. I don't see it. I'm at the YouTube studio and I don't see it. I'm looking at my regular page. Has anybody else seen it? No, I don't see that option on here at all. But they were talking about doing that. My subscriber count is going up lately, and the views on each video is going on up. So thank you guys for that, because not only are you watching it, but you're sharing my videos out, and I'm getting more views and subscribers. Let us know when Jeremy begins to recite scripture. Tammy says, I'm back. Sorry, my son called. He's in jail. That sucks. I did move, but I came back. I moved to Florida for a few years, but hello from Turkey. So you're from Turkey, Yusuf. Yeah, Pixie Ranger says, sorry to hear that, Tammy. Hope things are better for him and you too. I don't know that I can read this name. Ferlin? Ferlin? Hello to you. Kelly says, yes, I get confused easily. JP says, we'll do. Oh, Pixie Ranger said, tell her when the bird starts reciting the scripture. And she says, we'll do, as we all know, where the Father abides, the devil will flee. So she's saying that's how she fixed him. So you send the message on Instagram, I think is what you're saying. When I get talking, I'm not reading the chat, and I get behind, and then I get to it and don't know what people are referring to because I forget what I said. His name is Joshua. Kelly says, I'm house sitting. I wish I could send you a picture of the dog. Whoops. Wish I could send you a picture of the dogs. They are so cute. Pixie Ranger said, I haven't seen anything about the private messages either. So I do get, I do have an email and I do get messages on Instagram. I don't always see them right away because it sometimes it puts them, I don't know, in a different area. Sometimes I get a notification that I've got a message on Instagram and I can open it up and look at it. And then sometimes it kind of moves it over to another category or tab or something. And I don't always see it unless I get on Instagram and start looking around. Tammy says, my eldest son needs prayer. Also, he was diagnosed almost 2 weeks ago as a diabetic, and he's a bad alcohol. Well, that's not going to work. Yeah, he can't do that. Can't drink. Pixie Rangers wants to know his name. Tim. So Joshua and Tim are her son's names. Yeah, Kelly, how's the burn? So everybody's going to be praying for Tammy's sons. And Kelly is doing just fine. Is it like healing quickly? Because Amy's did. I was shocked at how quickly, well, actually, the doctors were shocked at how quickly hers healed. I'm at the bottom of the chat, folks. Speaking of Amy, she is going to go live in about 20 minutes. I had to look at my clock on the computer, and there's a clock right there. I ended up getting sun on it, and now I have spots. Is that bad? What do the spots do? Just sunspots? Healed very fast. Someone on YouTube commented the other day that male turkeys get like that during breeding season and bright colors make them do it too. So I noticed, Tammy, that he doesn't really care for the red buckets. He's not as bad with the white buckets or the blue buckets. You know, the 5-gallon buckets that I carry the feed and water in. So I put one of their water buckets, their automatic waterers, a red bucket. I I think a blue one and a red one out there. I did that on purpose. Anyway, I'm not there. He's in breeding season right now. They're mating now. I mean, not right now, but my niece came over the other day to uh, see the goats and everything, and they were breeding, and she's like, what are they doing? Because it's really weird. It gets on her back and like looks like he's massaging her back. They're just discoloration of my skin that will probably never go away. Oh, that sucks. 9. What is 9? Tell her they're dancing. She's 21. I think she's probably old enough. I could probably tell her what they were doing. You have to stay out of the sun. They say we're all supposed to stay out of the sun. Yeah, it does. It sucks. I sitting here listening to these birds, and I am concerned about how many are roosters. I don't need any more roosters. Yes, we should have. We should. Yes, we should. But some of us love the sun. Yes, I do. Um, Obviously, I'm outside. Like you don't get animals. You don't live on a farm or hobby farm or homestead. If you don't like being outside, you don't like the sun. But like I'm one of those that actually got to be careful about getting depressed in the wintertime because I don't get enough sun. Was that loud? All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. It is 7:14. Amy's going to go live at 7:30 over at Living in Abundant Grace Homestead. You certainly welcome to come over there and hang out. I will be in the chat. There she is. She just stepped in here. Would somebody put her link in the chat? One of the moderators. Maybe Amy, can you put your link in the chat so that so that they can come to your live stream that you're about to start up at 7:30. Um anyway, she's needing watch hours. She's got enough people, she's got enough subscribers to get monetized on YouTube, but she does not have enough watch hours. So she needs people in her live streams and watching her videos. She's going to try to put a link in the description there in the chat. So, but her channel name is Livin, Livin, and I wish she would change it. You should come over to the live stream and tell her it needs to be changed. Living in Abundant Grace Homestead. Living in Abundant Grace Homestead. 5 words, and living isn't even spelled right. It's hard to find. Somebody put that link down there. Let's see. Amy, I'll be there. I might have a few minutes. I might be a few minutes late, but don't worry, Kelly. Amy's going to be a few minutes late. She's late to her own live streams. Good. Then we have time for a potty break. You absolutely do. Wait on the link. Somebody put a link there. Jovita, Amy, somebody. If you don't get the link, it's Livin, Livin. She left the G off. Living in Abundant, there it is. Living in Abundant Grace Homestead. Go ahead and click on that link. Be ready. Go to the restroom, but be sure to wash your hands or you ain't any better than those stinking goats. Okay? I'll see you guys. A video will be coming out Thursday. Thanks for coming in. See you in the chat over at Amy's.